We're following a new $51 million lawsuit filed against the Oregon Youth Authority, accusing one doctor of sexually abusing children that were in custody.
Plus, wildfires are preparing for any potential tariff impacts, wineries. We break down what one company faced in 2019.
And this morning, our next system is here, bringing more rain, heavy snow, and windy conditions. We'll take a closer look at your morning commute coming up.
Live, local, late breaking. This is NewsWatch 12 this morning.
Good morning. The time is 6 a.m. on Pi Day, which is March 14th. Welcome to NewsWatch 12 this morning. I'm Damien Alvarado.
And I'm Brinkley Hill. We're going to check in with Storm Tracker 12 meteorologist Sarah Crest to see what that Friday forecast is looking like, if anyone's going to grab a pizza pie or a fruit pie or, I don't know.
Sarah, you know the numbers for pie.
I know 3.1415.
It's more than me.
Something.
I just know 3.14.
A few of them. But if you're heading out this morning, though, it's not looking great in a few areas. We do have multiple winter weather alerts that are in place, winter weather advisories, storm warnings. So this morning, as you're heading out on your commute, we're seeing a lot of snow make its way in. Snow levels this morning around 1,500 to 1,000 feet. We are seeing snow even into our west side valley passes, but we are tracking rain as well along the coast, moderate to heavy at times throughout our day. But tracking out on the roads, the Cascade passes this morning, you're going to want to carry your chains. Winds are picking up as well. Visibility will likely be impacted, and there's snow on those roads, so they will be slippery. Along the Siskiyou Summit as well, periods of heavy blowing snow. Seeing some of that accumulating levels right now, about 3,500 feet. Seeing snow on those roads. Plan for some extra time if you are heading through, even into our lower west side valley passes. We are seeing some snow make it down, accumulating onto those grassy areas. Roads will still likely be wet in this area, but you could see them slick at times. But for today's highs, you can expect those temperatures into the 40s, so it is going to be well below average for this time of year. Winter is still kicking strong, but we'll continue with that precipitation as well. Snow levels do rise a bit throughout the day, and you'll also notice that those winds are quite strong, especially this morning as you're heading into the Shasta Valley areas along the coast. Even as we're heading into the Rogue Valley near Ashland this morning, we're seeing those gusts pretty strong. Those areas sitting in a wind advisory. As we're heading into the next 2 days, we're expecting this rain to continue as a series of systems pushes through. For tomorrow, more rain, and then an atmospheric river sets itself up for our Sunday with some very windy conditions and plenty of rain along with it. We'll talk more about what you can expect through the weekend coming up in our next forecast.
New this morning, the Oregon Youth Authority is facing a $51 million lawsuit.
This comes as 10 people say they were sexually abused in custody at a youth correctional facility in Woodburn. That doctor was Dr. Edward Gray Edwards. The lawsuit accuses Edwards, the main doctor at the McLaren Youth Correctional Facility, of the abuse that took place between 2000 and 2008. Crew Jancy LLP says this is one of the largest lawsuits of its kind.
All of our clients were young boys when this abuse started. Many were as young as 12.
It says that OIA has a culture of silence when it comes to sex abuse, including a failure to investigate the backlog of abuse claims in a timely manner. The law firm believes Gary Edwards had access to over 10,000 kids who went through the facility and believe there are more victims and that there are 5 more perpetrators. The Oregon Youth Authority said they cannot comment on lawsuits.
NewsWatch 12's Rocky Walker spoke with Southern Oregon wineries about how tariffs and trade wars can affect them.
I'm surrounded by thousands of gallons of wine made here in Southern Oregon. But with tariffs and possible trade wars, the price to make this wine might be going up significantly. Popping a cork may soon become more expensive, with tariffs set to increase the price of production.
And there might be a need to increase the bottle price.
The tariffs would increase costs in most all realms, from the barrels the wine's aged in, the still vats it's made in, and notably the glass it's bottled in. Those in the industry say tariffs on glass in Trump's first presidency hit them hard as well, increasing costs overall.
You would think, okay, well then we'll buy American glass. Well, American glass used to be about the same price as the Chinese glass, 47 cents, and it went up to $1.77 as well.
The uncertainty of constant raises in price of production leaves wineries to wonder how to handle it.
Would it be better to pay for the barrels now if we think the value of the dollar is going to go down later, or do we wait and see what happens?
They worry for consistent increases, with the business facing the struggle of a death by a million cuts.
You don't realize it, but everything costs $1 more. So we try to absorb some of those costs, but we can't do all of them.
They feel similar sentiments to previous tariffs, fearing for the results but hoping that the trade wars can come to a good conclusion.
I don't think it was as bad as we thought it was going to be, so I think it always looks darker.
In Southern Oregon, I'm Rocky Walker.
Nearly $77 million is going to public schools across the state as a part of Oregon's Common School Fund. Our 17 local school districts are receiving over $7 million of that funding, which is divided based on student population.
Take a look at the average funding for each of our counties. Curry County received the lowest average amount of funding per district, while Josephine County received the highest average. The statewide average was around $389,000. The Medford School District received the most funding in our region with over $1.8 million. A full list of funding for each school district in both our region and the state can be found on our website.
Local shelters are facing overcrowded kennels. One Medford shelter saved 9 dogs from a euthanasia list in California. So Humane rescues dogs from shelters in California that are overwhelmed with animals. On Wednesday, they saved 9 dogs from an overcrowded shelter in Shasta, California, giving them a second chance at life.
Everybody is now comfy in their kennels. They have a safe spot to sleep tonight, and we'll be able to get them all homes safe and warm. No risk of euthanasia here.
Despite the relief for these 9 dogs, So Humane's kennels are still full. The rescue organization continuing to face the challenges of overcrowding. They also remain committed to saving as many animals as possible.
And today, the second annual NewsWatch 12 Klamath Falls Sportsman and Outdoor Recreation Show kicks off at the Klamath County Fairgrounds.
And it's one of our most popular events in Jackson County and has turned into a fan favorite across Southern Oregon.
NewsWatch 12's second annual Klamath Falls Sportsman Outdoor Recreation Show is bringing a ton of activities and local vendors for any items you might need before spring and summer.
Whether you're hunting, fishing, or just loving every day, the Sportsman and Outdoor Recreation Show has everything you need, and it's a great opportunity to check out what's going on in Klamath Falls. For more details, you can head to our website, kdrv.com, and we'll have some free ticket opportunities coming up with NewsWatch 12's Wake Up and Win coming up at 6:45 to 7. And we do just want to add that we've just heard from Dunsmuir High School. They will have a late start today. They will start at 10 a.m. They'll be on option 1 schedules for buses. We're just seeing wet and cold conditions, continuing to monitor. And because of these wet and cold conditions, warming shelters are going to be open tonight.
Yeah, access open there. Severe weather shelter along with Mint and Grants Pass. Access is seeking volunteers and donations of hygiene items like wipes, soap, and deodorant. We did check in to see how they set up their shelter and what it means to help others.
Being able to work with folks that are coming off the streets and navigating and being that little grain of hope that believes in them and watching them thrive in life is just probably the most rewarding thing about my job.
This shelter will close at 8:30 this morning, but we'll have updates on others in our region.
We're continuing to track that weather that is moving in. Wintry impacts this morning, especially with those elevations lower around 1,500 feet, and there could be dropping, and we could see possibly some of those big wet flakes make it into our valleys this morning. But tracking with the next few days ahead, we are not done with this wet weather. Now, snow levels do rise. We're heading into our Saturday and Sunday, but plenty of rain is going to be making its way in with an atmospheric river setting itself up, bringing some windy conditions along with it for our Sunday. But we'll talk more about what you can expect through the next few days in just about 7 minutes.